GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is sponsored by our store through Amazon. If you visit shopgear.com, please remember to do that, because when you do, you provide gasoline to the engine known as Gear Radio Network, and that helps this podcast continue. It is the best way to shop for yourself, and is the best way to support this podcast. Now, on with the show. Oh, hello, everybody. How's it going?
Like how I added bass to your voice.
I know you added the bass. You're like that.
I was right in rhythm with you.
It was like the Boys to Men, except, you're white and...
yeah, and I can walk okay.
Not what? Okay, yeah, that's true. Hello, everyone. My name is John Cimino at the JC Money on the Twitter, and joined here, of course, my eyesore, Brother Nature himself, Mr. Brandon Grell. Brandon, say hello.
Hello.
And, of course, we are sponsored by ShopGear.com. It's our Amazon quick link. And later on in the program, we are going to look for an obscure item, although...
I used it.
You used what?
Yeah, the Amazon link.
I did, too, and I bought a bed off of there.
Nice.
A nice...
I didn't buy a bed.
A nice king-size foam mattress. It's dope.
I kind of wish for your sake I could have bought that bed off of Amazon.
What?
I wish for your sake I could have bought my bed off of Amazon.
Yeah, that would have been...
$8,000 purchase?
I'm sure it would have been I'm sure it would have paid dividends still to this day. But
yeah. No, I picked up a couple vinyl records, and they had on one of the deals today, and the site I follow had a deal for Amazon for this 40-piece microelectronics screwdriver kit. So it's like 40 different heads for all like the electronics. You know how like you try to take some shit apart and it's got like weird ass screws. And you're like, how the fuck am I supposed to get this out?
Yeah,
it's got everything. $6, free shipping.
What?
Yeah, $6.92 I think was the final.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
On eBay or Amazon?
Amazon.
Get out of here.
Yeah, let me.
Do that. Do that. That's wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal.
That was pretty cool. Well, basically, again, here we go. Had a week off last week, battled some personal issues. I do apologize, but we are back. We are better than ever, although we don't have a show written down, so we're just going to wing it.
I did predict the Super Bowl correctly.
You did predict the Super Bowl correctly, so let's actually start right there. The New England Patriots go up against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Rigged. Half of America.
In Minnesota, and let me tell you, I'll start off by saying I took a 5-day Facebook break. Yeah. Because, and I'm going to do it again for the Super Bowl, because, quite frankly, I needed a break off of Facebook for other reasons, but I couldn't stomach the fact that I knew going into this game, the Patriots and the Jaguars, I didn't think the Jaguars had a chance anyways. I didn't think they were going to win no matter what, but every Patriots game that has happened this year has been about the referees being a part of their team and this and that. And sure as shit, Brandon, when the automatic disabler on Facebook, re-enabled my Facebook profile, and I decided to go in and say what's up.
You're like, that's it, I'm logging back.
I scrolled down, and literally my feed for the last 2 days, Brandon, has been Patriots and referees memes and this and that and this and that, and I'm like, and I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, not even wondering, but I'm thinking, when did we, as a society, when did we really stop? When did people that or
Where
organizations
did everything become rigged?
Well, yeah, it's either rigged or what. I just don't understand it. When you
don't get the result that you want.
When you have
something
a team, you have a team and an organization in the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. And granted, you can say what you want about the whole Spygate thing and the whole this, that, and the Deflategate and whatever gate you want to put on there. But the bottom line is for 18 years, the New England Patriots have consistently been on top of the NFL, in contention. Out of 18 of those years, the last 7, they've been in the AFC Championship game. And now have a potential to go back-to-back as Super Bowl champions again after doing it in 2003 and 2004, I believe. When did having, striving for success and being successful and doing things a certain way and having a consistent amount of success, I guess, when did that become a bad thing?
Yeah, it's jealous. It's a bad thing because people want their team to win, and they want the best results for themselves and their own agendas. And whenever it's like that with anything, like anytime anyone doesn't like get the result that they want, they look for external reasons to blame rather than, hey, my team just didn't hold on. I mean, the Jaguars had a lead. You mean to tell me that a delay of game penalty, which, by the way, was a delay of game. I mean, it was well after 0 before the ball got snapped. That's not rigging the system. That's a penalty. The hit to the head to Gronk, they cried about and said, well, it wasn't intentional. Well, it's still a fucking penalty. Like, I can walk into a bank and have my gun out and then I don't mean to rob you guys. Well, I'm flashing my fucking gun at a bank teller. Of course they're going to think I'm robbing them. So, it happens. You fucking hit the guy in the head. You take your 15 yards, but you still have a chance to stop him. They didn't. The pass interference could have gone either way. I saw it one way where I saw that the guy cut off his route and ran him out of bounds. That's pass interference. Everyone else seemed to think, well, he's allowed to play the ball. Well, he's allowed to play the ball, but you're not allowed to push the wide receiver out of bounds, so he can't make a play on the ball.
Well, I saw it, and I definitely was not a pass interference.
Yeah,
at all. So.
I saw it as he was running him out of bounds.
Right, right.
You're kicking him off the route. I mean, whether you hit him, as the ball's coming there or before the ball's coming there, at worst, it's illegal contact. You can't make contact with a guy down the field. After 5 yards, it's illegal contact. So it should have been 5 yards and a first down. Now, at worst.
I think about this. Going back to kind of my original point here, I see you wearing Boston Celtics gear.
Yes, sir.
And I'm a Yankees fan.
Yes.
And there is hate with those particular franchises as well. Again, because of the model of success. Now, we'll put the baseball team aside,
right? Because
there's no salary cap in baseball. Yep. In the NBA, there is a salary cap.
Yep.
And in the NFL, there is just a super low salary cap.
Right.
So it's one thing for people I can understand,
even playing field,
not liking the Yankees
and the Red Sox and the Dodgers because they can spend all that money.
They can spend all the money and get whomever they want to come there with no salary cap restrictions. They've got the luxury tax and whatever, but that's whatever, chump change to them. But in a sport that has a salary cap as limited as the NFL, for one team in this era to do what the Patriots have done over the course of 18 years, and I'm saying this as a Jets fan, as a guy who's had his ass kicked every season by this team, by this franchise
is tormented that division.
And but I mean, you look at this and you look at the overall body of work, and I'm sorry to all my Bills fans and Jets fans that are listening to this podcast, but you look at the overall body of work, and you will very, very, very likely never see anything like this again.
No, absolutely not.
When Brady and or Belichick are gone, you are not going to see anything like this again. Roughly for this long a period of time, you will not see this again.
No, absolutely not.
And that's what's amazing about this, and I guess maybe...
And we're sitting here wasting it. People are sitting here wasting it, whining and crying about things that don't matter.
Right.
Okay, so they got 3 penalties, and 2 of them were on the same drive, and it led to a touchdown. Great, that's 7 points. You couldn't score more than 7 points? Well, actually, you did, because you were up by 14 at that point. It doesn't matter. You had the whole goddamn rest of the game. There was one more penalty called the rest of the game in that second half. What are you going to tell me? That, yeah, it was pass interference, that one that was called in that penalty. Jalen Ramsey came over the top and basically wrapped his hands around his neck and pulled him to the ground as he was trying to make the play on the ball. That was the one penalty they got in the second half. What's the fucking excuse?
Right.
Oh, well, if we would have got that in the first half, we would have been blowing them out. Yeah, well,
if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Right. If Tom Brady and the rest of the team were playing without helmets, it might have been a totally different result too. I mean, it's fucking stupid to speculate with if. Like with the quick whistle when what's his face went down, White. Went down, and he was looking like he was going down, and the ball was still on his hip, but in his hands, but it was definitely coming loose. But from a distance, you don't see shit. You don't see the ball moving around. You see the ball in the guy's possession in his arms still as he's laying on the ground. You blow the whistle. The other ref came in and said, it was a fumble. One ref says, no, I saw it. He was down. They confer about it. It has to go to review. Holy shit.
I did mute the mic.
It's probably going to pick up on mine.
Well, we'll see.
So, okay, great. Yeah, human error happens. That shit happens. Nothing you can do about it. The right call was made is that you got the turnover.
Right.
It sucks that the whistle blew. That sucks. It happens all the time. Mm-hmm. But it didn't cost you the game. Oh, well, they would have put us up by 13. Well, great. You still didn't stop them.
Right.
You still didn't do your job. That's the thing about the Patriots that nobody ever wants to give them credit for.
Right.
They always say, oh, they're the lowest penalized team because the
referees are in their pocket. Yeah.
No,
I hate
it's because Bill Belichick preaches one thing every fucking day in practice, in meetings. It's the same mantra. Do your job. Mm-hmm. Do your job. And when guys don't start doing their job, they get shipped the fuck out of there. And they ship out major talent. And
to
just
Cleveland.
Send them off to Cleveland. Send them off to Arizona.
Yep.
They don't care. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not fitting the system and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then guess what? You're not going to succeed in that system. They want you out.
Right.
And they keep winning.
Right.
It's the system.
It is the system.
When you're on a level playing field with everybody else, you spend the same amount of money, talent wins out. Mm-hmm. If you have talent in the front office, you have talent in the scouting department, and then you have talent in the coaching staff, and then ultimately you have talent on the field, you're going to win a lot of games. You're going to be successful. If you have a break in the chain, you end up being the Cleveland Browns. Mm-hmm. Because it starts at the top. Good ownership.
Right.
Bob Kraft, good owner.
Right.
Takes care of his players, takes care of his organization. He spends the money.
He does
what he's supposed to do. He doesn't cut corner on, paying salaries to guys that they need. They do their job.
I've got really bad gas.
To the GM.
Sorry.
Goes down to the GM. The GM's good in New England. Scouting department's good in New England. Coaching staff is fantastic. 2 coaches are going to be leaving for NFL jobs.
Right.
You got McDaniels likely going to the Colts, and you got Patricia going to the Lions. Mm-hmm. So you got good coaches all over the league. You look, Bill O'Brien's in the league. Romeo Crennel's defensive coordinator elsewhere. Mm-hmm. A lot of guys have come from that system and gone elsewhere, but guess what? The main pieces are still intact,
right?
And they keep winning. If you don't have that, like you do in Cleveland,
right?
You have a break right at the top. Bad general manager. That bad general manager hires bad scouts. That scouts drafts the players that they draft. And then the coaching staff works with, they're not great coaches. They work with the staff that they have, the players that they have. The players aren't that great.
And then you go 1-31 in 2 years.
Yeah, you win 1 game in 2 years. Spending the same, you have the same amount of money to play with, you don't win. What we're seeing with New England is historic. I mean,
it is.
The fact that they've gone to this many Super Bowls. I mean, there's this thing out there the other day. Tom Brady's been in 15% of all Super Bowls.
Brady and Belichick.
Of history of Super Bowls.
Before Brady and Belichick, the last coach quarterback combination to reach multiple Super Bowls together was 4 Super Bowls. They are now, Brady and Belichick are now going to their 8th.
Yeah.
They're 5-2 in their previous 7.
Right. The team that had 4 was the Buffalo Bills.
It is
and they lost all 4 of them.
Right. It's incredible to just... You just have to admire it. You have to respect it. Yeah. You really do, because again, this is historic. This is historic. You're never going to see this again.
That's why I get in arguments, because it really bothers me, because you're witnessing greatness and all you're doing is sitting there pissing and moaning about it.
Right.
It's like the kid who's sitting outside And it's a gorgeous fucking day out, and you got amazing ocean waves going, and the sun's shining, and people are having fun, and he's sitting there staring at his fucking YouTube on an iPad. It's like you're missing everything that's going on here, and you're bitching about, well, my iPad, I can't see as well with the sun glare.
Right.
Like, that's what it is to me. Like, everyone's bitching about it. It's like, okay, you got a legitimate beef. They beat your team. Get over it after a week, and realize that you're watching like the Michael Jordan of basketball or of football.
Right.
You're watching the Wayne Gretzky of football right now.
Right.
I mean, if you weren't sold after last year, I don't know what the fuck's going to sell you. You're losing 28-3, and then he goes out and just marches down.
Right.
Even the Seattle Super Bowl.
Right.
Seattle had the best defense in the human history of the world. Like, the Legion of Boom. No way that anyone could throw. He throws for over 400 fucking yards on guys.
Exactly. So I get it.
It just pisses me off because then we're gonna get this Super Bowl and everyone in America is rooting for the Eagles, and it's like, oh, cool. Yeah. You're gonna vote for that trash can. Franchise.
I don't have a dog in that fight. Honestly, I want a good game. I didn't have a dog in last year's fight either.
No,
and
you wanted the Dirty Birds to win.
Well, I did because that was the gimmick. But as far as what
you wanted to dance the Julio.
Well, I wanted to dance the Julio, but I also wanted to see the awkward trophy presentation.
Right,
I did say that.
Yeah,
I said, it wasn't. It was if the Patriots weren't. If
that
the Patriots
was my
won,
main motivation last year.
If the Patriots were going to win, I am all in because I want to see the trophy presentation. And now it's going to be like, it's not necessarily going to be awkward, but I'm sure Brady's going to have that big old smile if he wins. That big old Brady smile. But whatever. All right.
I saw that great clip. It's making the rounds again from last year of him at Media Day.
Yes.
With the kid?
Yes.
Yeah, the kid on his shoulder, who's your hero? And then he says his father was his hero.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets a little choked up and he's like, yeah, it's my dad. It's like, how do you hate that guy?
No.
He's got a gorgeous, smoking hot wife. He's got good kids. He's never in trouble. How do you hate the guy? He wins.
He deflated a few balls and that helped him.
He didn't deflate him, though. He had general awareness is what they termed it as.
Whatever.
He had general awareness.
Whatever.
Well, didn't hurt him in the Super Bowl.
Nope.
Didn't hurt him in the next 2 seasons.
Not at all. Not at all. But all right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a commercial break. But, of course, not before our little infomercial. So, Brandon, obscure product.
Obscure product.
Hurry up. Condoms, you got it. All right, so I'm going to type up condoms here. And, hey, look, Trojan condom, ENZ lubricated, 36 count, $13.27.
That's a bargain.
On shopgear.com, ladies and gentlemen. You want to go get freaky deaky? Before you go get freaky deaky, buy your hats on shopgear.com. They got plenty of them.
2-day free shipping with a Prime membership.
Right, Prime membership.
You can even overnight those bad boys.
Look at this. Ultra thin latex, 36 count for $14.15 at the Pleasure Pack.
Hey, $14.
$14
is a small cry away from what you would be paying if you have a kid.
Right.
So
I love my children, though. But
put a hat on
it. Be smart. Use shopgear.com for all of your shopping. And, of course, when you do, it is our short link. It is a redirect link to Amazon that has our code embedded in it. And when you use shopgear.com to go to Amazon, you tell Amazon that
you got problems.
Man, listen, it's that Spanish food I had yesterday.
I did too, but
you didn't have Spanish food yesterday.
I had Mexican food.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's as close to Spanish as Spanish gets, I guess. But
some fried chicken tacos with pico de gallo on it.
Yes,
and cashew cream.
That one smells. I'm sorry.
Fried rice.
I apologize.
Jesus Christ. Go to the commercial.
It made its way over there?
Oh, yeah, I gotta leave.
It helps us out. It doesn't help Brandon out right now. I just cleared the studio. We're right back. IndyCard Media is your one-stop shop for quality designs at a quality price. They offer merchandising, company branding, event posters, custom clothing designs, and so much more. Check out their gallery of past designs by visiting facebook.com/IndyCard Media and tell them what you think. That's IndyCard Media, 337-446-4331 or IndyCardMafia@gmail.com. Tell them that we sent you. Again, 337-446-4331. IndyCard Media. Bring your designs to life. There is significance to what I'm playing now, but it's an inside joke, inside studio joke. But hey,
give me the David Letterman. Throw the pen.
Oh, that was totally you. Listen, this is. Let me reenact what happened prior to the commercial break. Okay, I said you should all go into shopgear.com because it helps us, and then Brandon was like, Jesus, and then I was like, yeah, boy, and then he threw the headset down and ran away, and now the studio smells like lavender and cold
oils.
And cold air.
Yeah.
But
I think you can close the window if you need to.
I already did.
Oh, okay.
And I did this again. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Here, sponsored by, of course, shopgear.com, where you can probably buy lavender oils too.
You can
to combat.
I got a lot of essential oils. Actually, I got these diffusers off of there. There was a 2-pack of them for like $14. Son of a bitch.
Sorry, Brandon.
Hate you.
You know what? I keep forgetting to do this, and I don't know why you telling me that you hated me reminded me of this. But when I'm driving home and I'm on Mount Reed Boulevard, there is a sign, like one of them big, the Lamar signs or whatever.
Yeah.
That says it has this, and it says you looked. And every time I drive by it, I keep forgetting. I keep saying, "Shit! I want to take a picture of this and send this to Brandon." But it makes me laugh every single time because every single time I look at it. So.
It said the new album artwork for Tool is leaked. Their new album finally coming out.
Okay, nice.
I don't know if that's real, but that's hilarious.
You know what I should do?
It's on Consequence of Sound, so it's possible.
Maybe what I should do is for our rebranded podcast or rebranded JC Money Show podcast in the off season.
Yes.
Maybe I'll talk to Eric and see if he could design at IndyCard Media and see if he could design a logo like that for our show.
Yeah,
that would be dope.
That's still one of my favorite jokes, man.
It is.
Anytime I find one on the internet, I immediately tag you or send you it.
I know, and you always get the goddamn it or motherfucker or something like that. But
except for that one, you couldn't figure out how to use a live photo.
The live photo did not work. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, Brandon. We rapped about the Patriots for a bit. Do we talk about the Eagles and Vikings 38-7?
I mean, that was not a game.
It was not.
Eagles blew their door off. Nick Foles looked like Jesus Christ.
352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0
I mean, that's not a bad Vikings defense at all.
No.
And they just ran through them. It was an ass kicking. I do believe that the Super Bowl will be a game. I think Philly's defense is not as good as Minnesota's defense is. But the way they got on top of Minnesota so quickly, it forced the game to be fully on Case Keenum, and he couldn't do it. So he couldn't mix it up. So
I think it's going to be a better game than everybody thinks it's going to be. But in the end, since we're doing our prediction show or whatever.
Speaking of end, ooh,
what?
You see Amendola's girlfriend?
No.
Oh, Danny Amendola getting wins on and off the field.
She a smokestack?
Dude, yeah, she's a model, and she's a smokestack.
Okay.
Let me pull her up.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's go ahead and let's pick AFC versus NFC Brandon Pro Bowl winners. Woo! Who you got?
AFC Pro Bowl. The winner is me because I won't be watching it.
Yes, I won't be watching it either. But it'll probably be on at Sunset Lanes. But no. Charlie Gates Sr. doesn't work bowl there anymore. But Super Bowl. Who you got?
I got the Pats.
Got the Pats?
Yeah.
I've got the Pats as well.
I can't see Brady slipping up and saying, hey, there's a number 6 for me.
Listen,
I'm going to fuck it up.
If he got through made the comeback without Julian Edelman, without Rob Gronkowski, against a lesser defense in Philadelphia in comparison to... Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Against a lesser defense in Philadelphia... Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Amendola. He's getting them wins.
Yes, he does.
Stacking those W's.
You know, get that Jameis Winston gif. Eat the win, eat the W. Go eat the W.
He's eating something else.
Yeah, that too. A little PT,
burgers,
a little PTP
and fries.
But But yeah, I mean, if he could do the comeback against a significantly better defense in the Jacksonville Jaguars without his two main weapons, I don't think he's going to have a problem against Philadelphia's
team. I don't think so either. They'll have a healthy Gronk. Amendola's playing well. Hogan's playing well. Mm-hmm. Cooks is playing well. Mm-hmm. They got dynamic backs out of the backfield. There's just a lot to contend with. And it's Tom freaking Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made better defenses look porous.
Yes.
He just totaled it up against Jacksonville, and Jacksonville had the number one pass defense in the league. So, I just don't know how. I could see a scenario where this becomes a shootout.
It could be.
I definitely can see that.
I do think that Nick Foles is someone that can sling it, and he's been proven to do it before. I mean, he's not an all-time great or anything, but he's not terrible.
Breaking news from the association.
Uh-oh.
Marcus Smart is out with a cut. Got stitches on a glass in his hotel room. Kind of wish it would have happened the day earlier, so he wouldn't have missed that. That game-winning 3 that he didn't need to throw up against the Lakers.
I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I'm watching more hockey this year than ever before, but I hear injuries like that, and I'm thinking, hockey, they'll just freaking bandage.
Well, it's on his shooting hand,
whatever.
So,
but
you got to have those handles, man. You can't be dribbling blood all over the floor.
That's true. All right,
thanks,
so
Magic.
That football part of it's done. I want to get your thoughts really quickly before we end this podcast. Chipper Jones, Vlad Guerrero, Jim Thome, and Trevor Hoffman elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Well deserving, and then we go to some of the other names. Roger Clemens.
How did he get more fucking votes than Bonds?
57.3.
Shit.
Barry Bonds 56.4, and Manny Ramirez at 22%.
Well, Man Ram hung on too long, and Man Ram was dominant for a portion of his career, but he tailed off. And guys like Bonds and Clemens were dominant from pretty much their rookie year until they retired.
Right.
I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to inch up every year, and then they have the 10th year of eligibility. They'll finally get their heads out of their asses and go, okay, now we're letting you in. You've been punished enough by the baseball writers of America.
See, you think?
Which is the biggest crock of shit in the fucking world.
I was listening to Golick and Wingo this morning, and they were talking to Buster Olney.
Yeah.
And Olney says, because he's been voting for them since year one.
Right.
Every year he's been voting for them. And he said, that in the beginning, he felt confident that it would go pretty much like that. He goes, but this year I kind of had a different feeling.
Right. Because dickhead Joe Morgan sticks his nose in there and goes, don't vote for these guys. He sends it on official Hall of Fame email address. And it's a crock of shit.
It's awful.
I mean,
it's awful.
Barry Bonds is the greatest hitter that ever lived.
And
I will say that unequivocally. I don't care Babe Ruth. I don't give a shit about any of those guys. The guy barely ever struck out. He walked more than anybody else. He had the eye for the pitch.
They were scared of him.
I've never seen a guy get walked. I haven't seen a guy get walked with the bases loaded other than Bonds. And Bonds had it happen multiple times. I've seen Barry Bonds hit a home run with a broken bat to the opposite field. I've seen Eric Gagne.
For those that say steroids, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Because Eric Gagne was on steroids, too. And Eric Gagne threw a 102-mile-an-hour fastball at him, and Barry Bonds turned it around and put it in the fucking bay.
Yeah.
So you want to use the steroids? Well, there was tons of people during that steroid era that were on steroids that know about or don't know about.
You know who didn't give a shit at that time? Major League Baseball didn't give a shit because their ratings were through the roof.
Right. That brings me to another subject on this. Sammy Sosa.
Okay.
The Cubs put, ownership, put out a thing where they were, interviewed about Sammy Sosa and when they're going to bring him back into the fold. And they said, well, Sammy's got some explaining to do and some apologizing.
For what?
For, the stuff that he did for him being on steroids because he was in the steroids thing. Well, first of all, he doesn't owe you shit.
Right.
Because you gladly collected all that revenue every single night Wrigley was sold out.
Yep.
For every Sammy Sosa jersey purchased.
Right.
And all the Sammy Sosa merchandise.
During that home run chase and everything.
You had it and you lapped it up and you cashed your fucking checks.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody, and I mean nobody, has a moral leg to stand on in this thing.
Yep.
Joe Morgan was excited and going crazy on ESPN when Bonds is hitting home runs, and he's doing the color commentary on Sunday Night Baseball. You got writers writing about this guy, and they're writing about, the people are buying your fucking newspapers because they're reading about that shit.
Right.
Nobody has a fucking moral leg to stand on.
Right.
It's the dumbest shit ever.
Right.
There are racists in the fucking, there's gamblers, there's
bigots.
cheats, there's bigots,
Yeah.
there's cheaters who use amphetamines.
Womanizers.
Right. There's so many bad people in the Hall of Fame. You're going to tell me that the guy who was trying to get a competitive edge because other people were getting a competitive edge at the same time, and it was not against Major League Baseball rules, it's just against your ethical rules. You're going to tell me that you're going to keep the greatest hitter in the history of baseball and one of the best and most dominant right-handed pitchers out of the Hall of Fame because you're the gatekeeper? You're a fucking writer.
Yep.
You didn't play baseball. You don't know shit about baseball. You know what you watch.
And you know what? As much of a pain in the ass as he was, the same is going to be said about Alex Rodriguez when it comes time for him. He's not going to
matter how many redemption tours he goes on.
Doesn't matter how good of an analyst he is.
Contests he has with a 23-month-old and on Jimmy Fallon, which was on the other night, was kind of entertaining.
Yeah. He is. He's going to ESPN now.
Yeah,
Alex Rodriguez.
He's everywhere.
And,
he's a great analyst.
Oh yeah,
I like him.
I like him as an analyst.
But Barry Bonds, after he retires, what is he doing? He's taking up cycling.
Right.
He's doing all his charity work. He's got all these foundations. He's doing all these positive things. He's not getting into trouble. You don't see his name in the newspaper. You don't see him, linked to this or linked to that. He's living a normal, clean life. Pete Rose gets banned from the Hall of Fame and has continued to do shitty stuff to keep himself out of the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's a difference there. Mm-hmm. I even put the thing on, that's why I said, how did Roger Clemens get more votes? Roger Clemens threw everyone in the world under the bus to try to clear his name, even though he probably was guilty. I mean, you have receipts and you have pictures and shipment labels of steroids coming to your house, and you do the Peyton Manning thing and say, oh, for my wife. So, Barry Bonds, he went, he testified, said, I didn't take anything that I didn't know about. I trust my trainer. They're like, well, your trainer. He's like, well, that's up to you to decide. I didn't know.
Right.
And they're like, oh, this guy, he's perjury. And then it turns out, no, he didn't perjure anything.
Right.
He didn't do anything wrong. You just went on a fucking witch hunt for years because we're going to take down Barry Bonds. You're not taking down Barry Bonds. You got nothing. You got circumstantial evidence.
He's still the guy.
He didn't fail any drug tests.
You look at that home run record, he's still the guy. Right. Whether they like it or not.
He instituted drug tests.
Passed every one of them.
Passed every one of them. You can say, well, he got there before then. Well, he still put in the work to still be that strong. If he's not taking
into his 40s.
Into his 40s.
When it's harder and erosion starts to hit.
Right. His knees were shot already. I mean, his knees have been bad pretty much most of his career. That's why he slowed down on the stolen base total. And he became a single threat where it was like, I'm a home run guy now. And that's what he did. He's the greatest hitter I ever saw and probably will ever see. The Giancarlo Stantons, the Aaron Judges, they're great, but Aaron Judge, strikes out almost a record for strikeouts.
I don't even want to.
Barry Bonds doesn't.
I don't want to put Aaron Judge in any category like that yet.
No, I'm just saying, like, everyone's all enamored by these guys, like Mike Trout. Mike Trout is a great hitter. But no one strikes the fear in a pitcher or a staff or an organization like Barry Bonds.
Bonds did. I'd say the closest that might have come to him at one point, was Pujols in St. Louis.
Pujols was that kind of a hitter, but he still wasn't on that level because you could still strike out Pujols.
Right.
He still had holes in his swing.
Right.
Barry Bonds didn't have holes.
Barry Bonds, no, he did not.
There was no holes.
He did not.
If you were going to try to pitch,
and the writers
he'd ignore it.
And writers really hated him because he didn't buy into any of their shit.
No,
he really didn't.
They gave it right back to him.
Like they tried to,
ask a stupid question, he'll give you a stupid answer.
Right. It's exactly what it was. And, it sucks.
Stupid.
It really stains the Hall of Fame to me. But, again, the names that were selected this year.
I mean, they're all deserving names.
Absolutely.
But, when you say you open the floodgates by letting 4 guys in, that just shows that the Hall of Fame is just messed up to begin with.
Yeah. Also, too.
Why did it take 3 attempts for Trevor Hoffman, the all-time save leader, to get into the Hall of Fame?
JC's buddy, Kurt Schilling, is regaining Hall of Fame support. And it says, quote, his Cooperstown chances are back on track. He's also a C word. And
how'd he do?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't say.
He did less than the steroid guys. I'll tell you. I got the numbers.
Well, while you search for the numbers, new names for the 2019 Hall of Fame ballot include Mariano Rivera, should get in, no problem. But again, if they screwed Trevor Hoffman for 3 years, I would hope they wouldn't do that to Mo. Doc Halladay should be in. Todd Helton should be in. Andy Pettit, he's going to be alongside the steroid guys, which is unfortunate because I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
But again, he's going to be shafted, and that sucks.
So here's the vote totals. So the first 4 guys that got in, Jones had 92%, Vladimir Guerrero had 92%, Jim Thome had 89%. Hoffman had 79%, and just missing the cut was Edgar Martinez with 70%.
Oh.
Next up is Mike Mussina with 63%.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's Clemens with 57%, Bonds with 56%, Schilling at 51%. So Schilling was clean, and he still fell behind Clemens and Bonds. And he's ahead of Vizquel, who had 37%. Larry Walker had 34%.
Piece of shit.
McGriff had 23%. Schilling was not. He's a piece of shit person, but he was. He is a Hall of Fame pitcher.
I hate him.
Yeah, Johnny Damon got 1.9%.
Johnny,
he got 8 votes.
I forgot about Johnny Damon.
He got 8 votes. The guy's getting 1 vote. Where Levon Hernandez and Carlos Lee. Guy's getting no votes.
Okay.
Orlando Hudson, the O-Dog.
O-Dog.
Aubrey Huff.
Oh.
Jason Isringhausen. Brad Lidge. Kevin Millwood, and Carlos Zambrano.
Oh, man.
Matsui got 4.
Oh, Matsui has been gone for 5 years.
Johan had...
He's going to Twins Hall of Fame.
He had 10. Jamie Moyer had 10. Andrew Jones, 31. Sammy Sosa, 33.
Jamie Moyer only had 10?
Yeah.
That dude was pitching until last year.
But he wasn't great.
I don't know.
He was just a good pitcher. He was average.
He was very good.
Sammy Sosa, 33. Jesus. Scott Rowland has 43.
Unbelievable.
Billy Wagner, 47. Gary Sheffield, 47. I always do the Gary Sheffield Magic Cream voice.
Bomb.
Magic Cream.
He's got to be. He's got to be
61.
He's got to be approaching his 10th year.
Yeah, Manny had 93 votes.
Who did?
Manny
did.
Yeah. Fred McGriff had 98.
Oh, McGriff.
Larry Walker had 144. So, there's, McGriff's fallen off because he's at 9 years eligibility.
Sheffield's got to be close to that.
Walker's 8. Sheffield's only 4 years of eligibility.
4?
Yeah.
Huh.
Sosa's had 6 years of eligibility.
All right.
Bond 6. Clemens 6.
Clemens 6, yep.
Edgar has got 9, so he's got to get in next year.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's out. I have a feeling he'll get in.
I hope so. All right. Well, that's gonna wrap it up.
Baseball Talk Weekly.
Baseball Talk Weekly. Football Talk Weekly.
Fart Talk Weekly.
Fart Talk Weekly. The JC Money Show. Whatever. I don't know who we are at this point right now. But what are you looking forward to this weekend, Brandon?
Pro Bowl? No, not the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
I got nothing going on this weekend, and that's kind of nice.
Nice.
I got bowling.
Very good.
Might go to Three Heads with Mr. Voltan.
Okay.
Then nothing.
Nothing?
Not a thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What about you?
All right.
Kids got to go to school Friday, too, which is...
Oh, all right. Well, speaking of Friday, I'll be at the IWF show on Friday. I will not be performing, but I will be receiving an award. That by the way, shout out to the football and other lesser sports. You guys are the best. I posted on there when the poll came out. I said, hey, worst kept secret, I'm an independent pro wrestler. They've got this thing on here. Go vote for JC Money. I thought maybe I'd get like 2 votes.
Yeah.
bro, like 30 of them voted, and we're like,
Nice.
I voted for you. Kick its ass. So 30 of the sports analysts or whatever voted for me there. Then I got another 25 votes just from like other workers and fans and stuff from around the area, and I ran away with the award.
So they're gonna vote.
They're gonna present, huh?
You know who didn't vote?
You didn't vote?
No, I didn't even see it.
You son of a bitch.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even see it.
Well, I didn't need it this time.
I saw wrestling. I was like, meh, whatever.
Yeah.
Scroll past it.
So I'm going to be at the IWF show on Friday. I mean, I'll have the gear and tote.
Well, congratulations, anyways.
Yeah, sure, thanks. I'll have the gear and tote, in case if duty calls. But I was originally supposed to perform on that show.
Okay.
But it was a creative thing, and I hate to kind of go Hulk Hogan, brother, but it was like, what sense does it make? I had to enact it was supposed to be me and Eric again. They wanted me and Eric to go again, but Eric and I had planned for just like the one-shot deal, and literally we had no idea that they wanted to do more than one
trilogy.
show, with that. So I went there thinking one-shot deal or whatever, and I only made that deal because if I stunk up the joint, then I would be like, okay, well, clearly I'm old and I can't do this anymore, so goodbye.
Time to hang up the tights.
But I, not to toot my own horn or sound cocky or anything.
Your own horn all night.
Oh, I have been tooting that horn.
Disgusting.
But I didn't stink up the joint.
Yeah.
We told a good story leading up there. We had radio, we had podcast, we had this podcast, we had this blog, we had this blog, and we just oversold it.
Stole a belt.
And then we got in there. Yep, stole the belt, got in there, stole the show, did what we did, got a big reaction, put over the young talent. The young talent paid respect to the old guy. The old guy got the, whatever, bow off, whatever, and I was gone. And then it was like, oh, hey, you and Eric want to wrestle again in January? And I'm like, why? we just buried,
did that.
We buried the thing, you know what I mean? So, but I'll be there to get the OMG award and probably piss off a few people and set up for February or March or something where I'm sure I'll perform then. But yeah, that's
Maybe
about
you'll
it.
Get a ring rat to perform Felice. Just kidding.
No. No, Flavor Flav, no Flav, no, thank you.
Flav, he's got it. Flav's always on time.
But also, too, officially as of today when the podcast launches, so Thursday, 3 weeks and 5 days. 3 weeks and 5 academic days, and then I get my bachelor's degree.
You're not going for mathematics, I take it.
No, I can't math, bruh.
I saw it.
Yeah,
he was struggling. He got fingers in the air, and how many days is that? It's counting toes. I can feel it. You're counting toes on the floor.
No, I was just holding it in.
Out. Oh, okay.
All right, that's going to do it for. That is going to do it for us mercifully here on this podcast where we just, again, rambled away, but we made something out of nothing.
Isn't that what most shows are anyways?
Yes, well, typically...
We didn't talk about going and getting coffee and seeing the hot babe at the drive-thru window and you don't have a sound effect go, hey-oh!
No.
The weenie in the butt hour.
I've got... That's about the closest thing I have to that. But anyways, thank you all for listening. Gracias todos para escuchar. That's going to be my next venture. After the bachelor's degree, I'm going to learn Spanish.
All right.
Fully.
Rosetta Stone?
We'll do a whole goddamn podcast in Spanish.
Pirate that shit, man. Rosetta Stone. Get a pirated copy. Learn yourself some Spanish for free.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right, but while I'm thinking of things to do outside of the bachelor's degree, you should go ahead and, again, shopgear.com. It is your friend. Buy some hats. I'm going to be buying a Calgary Flames hat from there pretty soon and upgrading my router.
Not the hats I was talking about.
Huh?
Not the hats I was talking about.
Oh, yes, the obscure item condoms. Yes. Okay, yes, buy your condoms there, too. Yeah. But anyways, Brandon, good day to you, sir.
Good day to you.
So long, everybody.
Peace
good night now.
So the Giants' projected lineup for opening day.
Remember to see more National Football League action next week.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.